EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the architectural wonder that is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is taken about 7 yards deep. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Omaha.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Takk McKinley coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Hey, spread left. Omaha. Bunch right.
Here we go on 4th down with Bortles. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Takk McKinley in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. First carry for the tailback, Devonta Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devonta Freeman, 26 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And they're in on the first play from scrimmage. Our crew and you and I, we better strap in here.
That's what's commonly known as quick strike. Points on the board. This could be a fun game.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Leopard! Leopard!
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
On third down, Fournette. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Fournette, a first down carry. They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 31 yards there and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
A handoff to Fournette. Down right around the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Here's a give to Fournette. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. yards on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go! Blue landed! Blue landed! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Kessler. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Jack, Patriot!
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Kessler being chased out left. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Fournette. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Ryan. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep. Oh, he's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. 75 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Jaguars on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14.
Green 80. Green 80. Go left, go left. Move. Green, it's it.
From the gun, it's Bortles. It's complete to Grant. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And they'll run it here. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Green 80. Green 80. Move. Hank. Green is it.
Bortles now on first down. And this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Green 80. Go left. Here we go.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Hey, gun. Get up!
On second down, here's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Gun. Hey, Tuesday. 39. 20. Get up!
On first down, Ryan escaping the pressure right. This is intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Got him a little extra space. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
39, Lucy.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll go for it. It's Bortles. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, gun. Left. Hey, straight ass.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
"15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Bortles throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
11B.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Wide open receiver, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Hey, Tuesday. Right. Get up.
From the shotgun, Ryan. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Gun.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Williams. Got some real estate inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Hey, spread right, smack. Green 80.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Corey Grant, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Left. 21. On.
They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. Incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. The Jaguars getting set to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now Leonard Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run for it with Fournette. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They opt to go for it, and they get it. First and goal after a pickup of 5. They'll try to run for it with Fournette. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now. Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 38 yards on the scamper there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin with a run by Fournette, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And he got blown up on that play, back at the 20. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
I'm not going to give him a lot of confidence. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brooks Reed in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
380. 380. Move. Lucy. 380.
Now Bortles got to have this one. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for a strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, that's Coleman. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught at the 20. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 55 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From the red zone now, 1st down, here's Kessler. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Gun, gun, gun. Right. Hey, south. Right. On.
Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play.
Gun, gun, gun. Go. Let it go.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his second touchdown. Down of the afternoon, and the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And now out come the Jags. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. A big third down play there for the Jags. 45 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. One last shot for Kessler. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.